Hello everybody. Today I'm going to be showing you how to use NoveList, which is available through UNCG's databases, and also many public libraries pay for access to it as well. It is a paid subscription, so you'll have to sign in with your library card information, and it's near the bottom of the ends, so I'll scroll almost all the way down. It's called NoveList Plus. It's very useful because it has reading recommendations for both fiction and nonfiction for all ages. And it divides the collection into useful areas, like an adult collection, teen collection, ages 9 through 12, and ages 0 through 8. And as I said, fiction and nonfiction. First, I'm just going to do a simple search for an author, Aaron Hunter. And this is an author that I and patrons need help with because it's actually a pen name for about 6 different authors. And so they produce a whole bunch of books, but they're all shelved together. And what makes it really confusing is that there are not only a whole bunch of different books, which will all be listed in one place here, but also if you go within the series, there's the original Warrior series, but then there's also spin-offs like Vision of Shadows, has a few different books. And then there's Dawn of the Clans and a few others, but we'll look at the original series. So this is going to list all the books in the series in order, and I'll have the title, and also I'll have the pictures of the covers, which is really useful. Sometimes kids, and I guess adults too, will remember the cover, but they won't necessarily remember the title of the book they just read or the book that they're looking for. And another useful thing is that it has the Goodreads rating, which is something that I probably pay too much attention to. And it also has popularity. And another excellent thing about NoveList is that over here, if you're within a series, it will suggest series read-alikes. You can scroll over, it'll give you information about each one. Then also, if you search for a particular book, like one of my favorite books is Neverwhere by Neil Gaiman. Now I love Neverwhere, but I'm actually not a huge fan of Neil Gaiman's other books. So I'm hoping that if I go to the title Neverwhere, we'll have some good read-alikes over here. And it gives quite a few different options. And it should tell you the reason why they're similar. And if you're familiar with the books, you can actually agree or disagree with the recommendations. Also, you can find access to the audiobooks, more about the books, lists and articles that contain this title. And down here is another useful feature. So these are all things that kind of define this book. And if there's one thing that you're particularly interested in, like books that take place in London, and good versus evil, you can choose those. And it'll limit your search to items that include those things. Alright, I'm going to go back to the home page, and we're going to do an advanced search. And then further you can divide by age, but also you can look for fast-paced and upbeat, action-packed and compelling. So basically what you're in the mood for. So in the advanced search, I like books that are about World War II, fiction books that take place during that time period. So I'm going to do a subject search. And as with other databases, you have a whole bunch of different things you can choose from. I occasionally read adult fiction, but mostly I stick to teen and juvenile. And I'm looking for fiction in this case. And you can choose a publication date range. If you only want award winners, you can choose that, or starred reviews. And there's a whole lot of different things that you can choose from to limit your search. Something that's especially interesting on NoveList is that you can choose the author's nationality or their cultural identity. So if you're looking for diverse books, that's an excellent feature. And then if you're looking for nonfiction books, you can actually select a Dewey range. So I'm looking for audiobooks because I like to listen to them as I do chores around the house. And then I always listen to unabridged books. So I think I have everything chosen that I would like. I'll scroll down here, hit search. And that comes up with 127 different options. There's quite a few titles that I'm familiar with, but also a lot that I'm not. I especially recommend Code Talker. It's an excellent audiobook about the Navajo Code Talkers. And then Wolf Hollow is really good. And one of the best audiobooks I've ever listened to was Codename Verity. It's just very well done and also a great book. So one thing I will point out is that just because NoveList is associated with our school library, it doesn't necessarily mean that we have access to all of these titles, but likely through interlibrary loan you could get access to them. So that's NoveList, and I wanted to briefly show you also fantasticfiction.com. This is a more simple version of NoveList, and it's also free. It's put together by an individual in Britain. He was an IT person, but he's also a book lover and did this as a hobby, and then he quit his day job and started doing this full time. And it's very well done, and the user interface is really simple, and it's up to date. And I wanted to show you just kind of how it looks different on this website. So we'll go to Aaron Hunter again. And this tells you directly the different names that are associated with that pen name. Pseudonym. So it has the new books listed first. But then I like how this groups the series together and the book titles together. And you can click on each of the titles and it'll take you to a summary of the book. So that is NoveList and Fantastic Fiction. I hope you learned something and that you will be able to find books not only for patrons, but also hopefully find some books that you're interested in as well. Thank you.